let's recap trading from today. I think we'll start with the catalysts and then we'll look at the charts. So we recovered all of the losses that were incurred overnight. Just to review, coming into the session, the market was risk off because the cases in China are now near 60,000. The most recent report included 15,000 new cases. However, WHO's Mike Ryan said that these cases go back over days and weeks and are being retroactively reported. And he also said that he doesn't expect any spikes like this to continue happening. And he said that this doesn't represent a significant change in the trajectory of the outbreak. So that was something that calmed the market's fear. So on top of that, the market's also expecting the Fed to stay the course through this. Earlier this week, Powell said that the Fed is assessing the risk of the coronavirus and other potential threats, which suggests that they'll continue with accommodative monetary policy, possibly throughout the rest of this year, but we'll see. Definitely longer than the market was initially expecting. All right, so on the earnings front, 378 out of the S&P 500 companies reported positive results so far, and of those, 71% surprised consensus estimates to the upside. So 71% of the 378 that have reported so far have been positive. So those three things, the fact that Ryan's not expecting this spike to be something that repeats itself, that calmed the market fears. The Fed staying the course based on some of the things that Powell said earlier this week supported the market, and also earnings are looking to be pretty positive. So this is a daily of the S&P. This was the prior close, and you can see we traded down to test those lows. Let's take a look in a bit more granularity. So this level here that we talked about this morning did end up being the next destination because we did have a bullish break based on the earnings, the Fed and the WHO saying that they don't see spikes like this continuing. So based on that, we ended up trading higher. So this bar right here was the open, and we actually tested a level before moving up. So there was a level that was established overnight that we ended up testing a couple times. So on the very open, we drove down and tested that level, and then as we moved up, there weren't enough buyers, and we kind of whipsawed right back before moving on, and we actually had this level of this trend line here that we're actually currently using for support. So essentially, we broke higher after testing this level, came back down. This is when participants were still pretty fearful because of the coronavirus, but as those fears were set aside, we just continued to move almost in a straight line up to that 3380 zone that we were looking at going into the market. So that did end up being a level. We didn't have enough momentum to bust through that level and continue into all-time highs, because clearly the virus is a very significant impacting factor, but we also have those other elements as well, the strong earnings. But things like earnings, those aren't going to reflect any potential impact that the virus could potentially have from having an entire nation on shutdown, and this a global, god damn it. Maybe I can just drop it off there. All right, so getting rid of these levels here, make it a little bit cleaner. Let's go to an hourly, and I'm gonna update. Well, it looks like we weren't able to close above that, so in my opinion, that original level is still valid, but I will mark out this new high. Aside from that, let's see if we need to change any of the other levels. Yeah, this one didn't get closed below, so looks like we might be forming a pretty decent area of a range. Not saying we're going to go sideways, but within the absence of any strong catalysts, these levels here, I'll actually make it more clear. So these zones, if we break them, they should provide pretty decent support and resistance. So for example, if we have a decent catalyst and we break up through this level, there's really nothing until the 3400 level. So I'll put a box there too. So this is the next logical area of resistance should we get enough of a catalyst to break these highs. If we do manage to, with momentum, if we manage to hold above these levels and we make a strong close to that level, this zone should be pretty decent. And conversely, with this level down here, it's not as nice. There's a lot more. There's a lot more in the way. However, if we are breaking those on momentum, the technical levels are going to go out the window. But this would be a decent level to lean against if we were breaking to the downside. So one of those is going to happen, or we're just going to go sideways and chop around in this range. Only time will tell. I'll see you guys tomorrow.